Back to another TradingView tutorial series. Today's video, we are talking about the anchored volume profile, which can be applied to your chart just by going to the drawings menu here over on the left, finding the forecasting and measurement tools, expanding the menu, clicking anchored volume profile, finding a starting point on your chart, clicking that starting point, and then letting the volume profile instantly calculate and appear on your chart. You may have noticed, indeed, you can have several anchored volume profiles set up on your chart, or just have one from one very important point in time. For those who are TradingView experts, you can probably now stop the video because you've just learned about this new tool and you have an idea of how to get started. But for the new traders out there, the new investors, the ones who are coming to TradingView to learn more, let us really zoom out and walk you through this from the start so you know exactly what's happening. First of all, this is your drawing tool menu over here on the left where you can access all of your drawing tools. Drawing tools are just what they sound like. It's how you literally draw on your chart to keep notes, do research, perform technical analysis, and really anything else that you can do in investing and trading. But for this video, we are talking about the anchored volume profile. You will find it in the forecasting and measurement tools section. When you open the menu, you'll see that the tools are sorted by specific topics, projection tools. For this video, we are looking at volume-based tools. So this should start to open your mind up and your eyes up to what we're doing. We are studying volume, and we are using the anchored volume profile to study volume. Volume, for those who don't know, demonstrates how many shares or contracts or currencies were traded. So if two people traded the same stock a million times, well, a million shares were traded in that point in time. But generally, there's hundreds and thousands of people trading, and they are making the volume. So you may know what traditional volume is, which if we add volume to the chart, and now let's click volume, you're probably very familiar with this tool here. Well, volume tells you how much trading volume occurred on a specific day or at a specific time. This is way different than the anchored volume profile because it's going to tell you how much volume occurred at a specific price level. So what we're going to do is just add our volume profile from this starting point. So we just clicked, and now it's going to start from here and run all the way through here. And what you'll notice is now the volume bars are on the price scale. They are not time-based. So down here is time, but up here on the right is price-based. So now each volume profile bar is telling you how much trading volume occurred at each price starting from this point in time all the way to the current point in time. So now you're studying volume by price. How much trading volume occurred at $400 per share? How much trading volume occurred at $427 per share? And you can see that. Now we're going to really study this now in great detail. So let us start over and walk you through a start to finish application of the all new anchored volume profile. Okay, we've selected the tool. The next step is now to find a starting point. For this video, one thing we notice is that there is a giant gap up between May 24th and May 25th. So there's a huge gap up. Something happened in that point in time. For the sake of this video, we don't need to go examine why, but it's notable to see such a large jump in an asset. Could have been earnings, could have been a mega news announcement, could really have been anything that caused this spark. But the point is that we want to calculate our volume since this point in time because it is such an important moment. Something happened here, it brought in new buyers or perhaps changed who was selling, and now let's calculate volume over this point of time to understand the new trading regime since this spike. So we're going to click, this is our starting point, and now our volume profile instantly calculates. So now, as you can see, there's a red line that goes through our chart here. This is called the point of control. The point of control shows where the most trading volume occurred since this volume profile was applied. The reason why they call it the point of control is because the amount of trading volume is the most. So this price level, it looks like 425 to 424 to 428 has attracted the most trading volume. So if price goes below this level, maybe the bears have won or the shorts. If price goes above this level, perhaps the longs and the bullish people have won. So who's in control at that price point, the bulls or the bears? Is it above it or below it? And as you can actually see, look at the candle actually on this day right at the point of control. Pretty interesting. Perhaps there was a very interesting dip buy right at the point of control since we started from this point in time. So that is one way to use the anchored volume profile. And now what you can do is not only have more information about how much trading volume happened at all of these price points, but you can also start to roadmap a little or think about what trades you might place in the future, or perhaps if this even looks like an attractive trade. Perhaps you already missed the quick dip to buy and the trade's over. That's up to you to figure out, but the point is the research is here for you. Now, just like any drawing tool on TradingView, you can double click and there's a settings menu. Now, if you're already familiar with the volume profile tools, this is very similar to that. Here's the settings menu. You have full customization of everything here. And if you haven't watched some of our volume profile tools already or gone to our help center and typed in volume profiles, you should go do that because we walk through all of these tools. There's no need for us to make another video about these tools, but we will briefly just remind you that the settings menu is very similar. Not much has changed, but you can make all these same customizations. Number of rows or ticks per row will essentially change how the volume profile is displayed. You can also decide how many rows you want. So if you want to have if you want to have larger rows here or volume profile bars, you could type in 10. So now it's going to essentially find a way to show you 10. Or if you want really granular data, you can type in 90. Now you're going to have 90 of these rows here. It's really up to you. The default is 24, but for this video and just showing you more, we'll just go to let's go to 10, which would illustrate 10 trading days in our mind. So let's do 10. It sounds like a nice round number. In addition, you can just do total, so you can just make the volume profile bars all one color. There's a few customizations here for you to better understand whether it's up volume or down volume. You can also adjust the volume area to fit your needs or to suit exactly what you're looking for. Whether you want to hone in on one specific point in time where the majority of the volume is happening, or if you really want to open it up to every bar. You just want to see all of the volume profile capabilities. And then of course the style menu you're definitely going to want to understand, because this is where you can change the color of the up and down volume bars or rows if you've already selected them. The value areas, if this is not at 100, for example it's 70, well, you'll see your value areas. One's shaded, one isn't. It's to demonstrate the importance of each price level. Where is the majority of trading volume happening versus maybe a little less that you shouldn't keep your eyes on so much. Up to you. You can customize it. The value area at the high, that's the blue line here. So it just shows you the absolute high of the volume-based profile. Point of control, which we discussed. Value area low. It's all here for you. And like we said, go check out some of our earlier videos to better understand what all of this means and how to use it in great detail. But one of the best ways to get started with this is just to dive in and start to try this tool. It's the best way to learn. This is a tool for studying volume, and once you get the hang of it, finding and clicking the anchored volume profile, you can really do a lot with it because it works naturally on all time frames. So you can actually really learn a lot about a symbol by calculating these fine details about volume since really important points in time. So you could say, I want to know what the volume profile is since the previous all-time high before this run started. Well, you can click and you can get a sense of where the volume is. And you may even say at moments like this, well, that's really interesting. The most volume since this all-time high actually happened at 164. and now the price is at 431. So that could tell you a number of things. It could tell you that a large number of traders or investors have been profitable on this asset. And why do we say that? Well, if most of the trading volume happened here, but the price is up here, then it shows that there were definitely some buyers in this region who helped pick this thing back up. Another way, though, that you could think about this as well is that if the volume is primarily down here since this high, you could also say that maybe price is a little extended at this point. If the most trading volume was happening down here, and now the least is happening up here, is this something that you really want to chase? Does that make sense? Or does it make more sense for you to be patient and perhaps wait a little bit to see? Maybe it'll come back into these heavier volume areas. Keep in mind, one quick note about volume. Volume is liquidity. If volume is better, you're going to get better spreads. You might get better execution, less slippage. There's more people trading in that area, so you can exit or enter probably a little easier than in areas where there's not as much volume. So that concludes this video, and we hope that it helps you get started. Thanks so much for watching, and we look forward to reading your feedback in the comment section.